Hi everybody, welcome to my channel, Life, Law, Bin. Hi everybody, welcome back. Today I'm having a discussion with my friend Abigail Bryan. We are going to be discussing her scholarship, her Chinese scholarship. So Abby, tell me how you became aware of this scholarship, this opportunity, and how you were able to seize it.
Okay, well, my sister actually had a friend who studied in China, and he was also on scholarship. So then I was just kind of like exploring my options. So then he was just like, oh, maybe you should try out for the Chinese scholarship. And I was just like, but I did anyway. So, and here I am now.
That's very cool. So what was the application process like?
The scholarship is to the ministry, and basically they will send out all of the requirements. So there was an academic requirement, like your CXCs and your CAPE. You had to have CAPE or BCC or attended BCC, and then there was an interview. Once you pass the academic foundation, or I don't know, requirement, then you had to go into an interview, and there was a board of I think about 10 people, strange people, asking you a lot of questions about why you want this scholarship, blah 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 blah. And then after the interview, a couple of weeks later, you'll find out if you pass the interview or not.
Okay, but that's really interesting, because I know that a lot of scholarships sometimes don't have that element of an interview, but still there are still quite a few that do. Do you have any tips for anybody that might be thinking about applying for this scholarship or something similar where you have to face a board?
Okay, my thing is that 3 years afterwards, it was not as big of a deal as I thought it was. Maybe I was in sixth form, so I guess it was a bit intimidated by the people. But you will realize if most interviews, it tends to be people, they just want you to talk as much as you can. So I was a bit shy, and the woman was just like, pure Beijing, this is how you go overseas and represent Barbados? Well, you was really a Beijing? And I was like, and then I just started talking. She was just like, talk, man, talk. Because, she was just like, when you go overseas, you're an ambassador. So, if you're going to go into an interview, be, more confident, talk a lot. Maybe you might stray off topic, but I think it's fine.
I think that that's a big tip, because I feel like sometimes you go and nerves get the better of you. So, you just feel like, should I make this comment? Should I not make this comment? So now that we have basically passed the interview stage, what would you say the scholarship entails?
Okay, so I personally think that the scholarship is a very good scholarship, especially for those people who come from families with economic constraints, because it is a full scholarship. My tuition is covered, my accommodation is covered, I have a monthly stipend. However, the only thing is that flights from Barbados to China is you have to cover it yourself, whereas my friends from Grenada and stuff, everything is covered. But for Barbados scholarships, it's just like this.
That's understood. I mean, that seems like it's quite beneficial too. So I think you would probably only need to be looking for some kind of finances to get yourself to and from China. Now we know that China is such a far place from this little place that we call home, and I just want you to tell us a little bit about how it was making that move from the rock, from BIM, all the way to the other side of the world, to China.
I wouldn't lie. When I left BIM, I was in tears. But I feel like you was in tears. Everybody's being in tears. You really feel like you was just walking into your death sentence, though. When I was walking through the airport, I was not excited at all. There was tears in my eyes. I was crying. The flight attendant, she came to comfort me.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it. Do I regret going overseas to study? No. But the adjustment was something that was very hard for me to accomplish. So for the first 3 or so months in China, I was very depressed. It's normal. Well, I don't know if it's normal for you.
No,
it's normal. Yeah, you miss home, everything is strange. And for me, the stipulation of my scholarship was changed. Maybe a month before I left, they were like, no, you're not going to study in English anymore, you're going to study in Chinese. A month before before I leave, they were just saying, the contract has changed. So if you still want the scholarship, like, you know, you have to study in Chinese.
Well, Abby, that is a massive adjustment.
So I think this is also something that had me very overwhelmed. So then when I was going to China, all that was in my mind is that I do not even know how to say hello in Chinese though. Like, hello, bye-bye, what is this? I do not know, nothing. So I was just like, I think this is what had me feeling the most overwhelmed, like the language barrier.
I could imagine that. And you see, I think it's important that we kind of created a space here that we feel comfortable and we can kind of open up about our experiences, because people always think that going overseas and studying is this big exciting thing at first. I mean, eventually it can become exciting. But I was homesick. I was depressed. I was in a place where a lot of people didn't even know anything about Caribbean culture. West Indians, people don't know anything about our music. Like, they're staring at you puzzled. I mean, you can go into spaces like recreational spaces and you're hoping for a party. I had to quickly like Afro beats because that was the closest thing to a vibe, to a beat, because the techno, you know, it wasn't doing it.
No, it's
like
not
how
it.
soca, dancehall, those kind of things do it. So it was a depressing time first, and I feel like it takes a very strong person to get over it, because I even remember my mommy saying at one point, you know, you don't have to do this in the UK. You can come back.
Exactly.
You know, as Virgins would say, we host don't leave. You can come right back here and sit down. You understand? But I feel like sometimes you need to push through that. And kind of, when you kind of push through that kind of adversity and them kind of trials, you kind of embrace like achievements and that kind of things more life experiences. So I could imagine a language barrier being even tougher for you, and overwhelming. But you did it because you had exams. You did 3 years in China so far. So how exactly would you say the teaching and everything was now? Because you just added a big kind of like spinning dynamic into the whole thing. You threw a curveball here, because we now have to readjust thinking about studying in Chinese.
My first year was brutal. Like, I was just like, mommy, I can't do this. Like, you really need to have a broad back. Like, if you back in broad, don't do it. This is it. Like, I know other Bajans that went down with me and they left, and I totally understood them. Like, no judgment. I was just like, sis, if it ain't for you, I understand. But like, I actually had a really good teacher. Like, she was tortured. Like, she was brutal. Like, for example, like, if you would get something wrong on your essay, this one thing you will get wrong, you will have to write it 100 times. 100 times. If you don't do it, you cannot come into the class. And it will just be like this. So obviously you have to do it. So one time I studied so hard for an exam year, like, you know, midnight oil burning. I studied so hard. And Chinese is a very delicate and a very complex language, especially to write. And like, I would just forget like one stroke and it's wrong. This night I had like 500 things to write out, and she was just like, oh, if you don't write it, don't come in my class till you write it. And it was just like this. But she cared about us, and at the end, like, I was able to like achieve like most outstanding student for my year. And I was just like, whoa, this is because of my teacher. But like, if your back is not broad, and if you're not willing to like cry through the nights, and after you cry, like, get out and be like, all right, back at it, like, you can't do it.
Now, before we wrap up, can you let us know what you were studying in China?
Oh, I study international economics and trade.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, I think that was really enlightening. And I feel like even me trying to wrap my head around, you know, studying in Chinese would have been a very big hurdle. But I know you, and I know you for years, and I know you got this still. But it was great. It was such a pleasure chatting with you about this. And you know, we can catch up. We can link soon again.
For sure.
See y'all later, guys.
Bye-bye.